What's good, beautiful people? Hi, it's your man Mo Tillis, agency owner of the Tillis Insurance Group, and I have a very, very special episode for you today. I have my good friend Tremaine Bembry, who I've known for over 2 decades. He is the actual financial advisor with Primary Financial. I believe I got that right, correct?
Hey, you good? You're good.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. So what I wanted to do, first of all, Tremaine, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling wonderful, man. Just my son just graduated eighth grade, man, and going to high school. Remember those days? And then my daughter, she's turning 8 this Thursday, man. So I'm feeling wonderful. And I just recently got married.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of good news. Congratulations on all of your things you got going on. Birthday,
Thank you.
graduation, and a marriage, man. That's beautiful, bruh. I love that, man.
Thank
Way to catch
you.
up right off the bat. I love that. Okay. So Tremaine is a financial advisor, and I brought him on to provide the most value I can today. And he was somebody I thought of immediately as we educate ourselves on finances and upgrade ourselves. So Tremaine, I wanted to, just go through a few questions. And first, I really wanted to just let you introduce yourself. You gave us some good stuff that happened to you recently and that's going on in your life. But tell us about what you do basically in this financial space.
So, get Tremaine Bembry, financial advisor, primary financial. God, I've been in the industry since 2004. So do the math on that, right? Basically, as soon as we got out of high school, right? So ultimately, when you think about a financial advisor, you're probably thinking about investing, which is 100% true. I tell everybody that's the easiest part of my job. Investing money, you can do that in your sleep. That's very easy. My job is the structure, right? So everybody has goals, right? They want to buy a house, kids' education, retire, even save for an emergency fund. My job as a financial advisor is to help you navigate that in a systematic way. That's basically what my job is.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So you recently came off vacation our last time that we connected, which
Someone
was
is at
over
the
the
front
weekend.
door.
Sorry about that. That was my room. Sorry about that. I tried
Hey,
to ignore
look.
that one.
So this is a one take show. So do you got to get the door?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, good. This is a one take show. This is staying in it. You're a real person. I'm a real person. It is what it is. So you recently came off vacation this weekend, when we more recently connected, and I think it's important for business owners, professionals to take leisure time. But in order to get to that point where you can have more leisure time, you actually have to earn it. You
Right.
just don't get it. Like some people come into business or think they can just, take off every weekend and wake up late like it's a fairy tale land. So I want you to talk about, Tremaine, if you could, some of the challenges you may have faced up front as a financial advisor and how you got to this point now. The
So,
sacrifices you had to put in, brother.
so true story. I think it was 2011, 2012. So I was, as I stated, I was in banking before. Obviously, 2008 happened. A lot of people were losing their job, and long story short, I got let go. So I started out working independently in the insurance industry, and I actually did okay, right? But then I'm like, man, I want that secure paycheck. So I went back to banking. But I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't my passion. Ultimately, what it came down to is I wanted to help people on my terms, right? Not
Right,
the way you tell me
right,
to help them, right?
right.
So, funny story, short story. I literally quit overnight, no money in the bank. Quit.
Wow.
Jumped off the cliff. Just bought a house
Hmm.
with me. My wife, my now wife. I mean, I thank her. I thank her because if she wasn't there in the background, man, I probably would be back in banking working there. So I started out working for an insurance company, predominantly in North, man, knocking on doors in places you wouldn't even imagine. If you're from New Jersey, basically places that comparable to Prince Street, right? I was literally knocking on doors like that. And it came to a point, I forgot his name, but he told me to be successful in this business, you got to get out your comfort zone, right?
Hmm.
And growing up predominantly where I grew up at, I didn't know people with a lot of money, right? But when I was working at the bank, I actually managed accounts for people who had a lot of money, right? So I had to ask myself, where do those people congregate, right? So I had to go back to that training and say, you know what, that was I'm gonna start out with the Chamber of Commerce, right? And it's funny, my manager at the time at an insurance company, she told me that, oh, they don't want you there. Don't go to Chamber of Commerce. Stick to exactly where you're comfortable at. I mean, I'm a very rebellious person. Don't ever tell me you can't do something. Don't
Yes,
ever tell me,
yes,
right?
yes.
It wasn't easy at the beginning, to be very honest with you, because sometimes, especially when it comes to our industry, you think when you meet that person on day one, you got to help them with something, right? And what I learned very quickly is that to get to where I want to go, I had to do one thing, not sell, I had to develop relationships, totally two different things, right? So I tell everybody I'm in the relationship development business. My job is to develop a relationship, right? Because you're not going to feel comfortable explaining your finances with somebody that you don't know. You want to know about my family dynamic, how much money I have, what do I own, my credit, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna know the same. I need to know the same thing about you, right? So,
Powerful.
God, I've been independent for 7, 8 years now. No, actually, going on 10 years. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And I never looked. The first 2 years, I tell you, man, the first year you're gonna go through your natural market, right? But that first year, what you need to start building is that market that you want to be in, right? So it took me 2 years essentially to get into a groove, and I never looked back since.
That's amazing, man. And I love the insight that you dropped while you were speaking. There's so many jewels, but one, the number one for me is developing relationships.
Right,
That's really what it is. How can we serve people even beyond what we're actually certified or trained or licensed to do?
right, right,
It's all about serving people, man. So I wanted to ask you this, you know, at what level, because life insurance is like one of the foundational step for all financial plans,
right.
right? And people are just getting wind. I ain't gonna say just getting wind, but they're becoming more aware of the importance of that.
Mhm.
But you can't stop at the foundation, you know.
Right.
At what point on the financial pyramid to success would they come to see you? Like, what challenges might people be facing? I know you said so many things in the beginning for planning for children, everything like that, but what point in a person's life is there a certain point in their life or business that you particularly specialize in? And this is like, okay, well, this marker is going on in your life. You need to co see Tremaine.
So it's funny you ask that question, right? So I meet people from all walks of life, right? I got my oldest client is 95 years old, just to put that out there, right? So it could be, the one thing I tell everybody, the only thing I ask you to do is take it seriously. Whatever I do for you, take it seriously, right? So I got people who are just starting out savings. I have 40-year-olds saying, hey, listen, I screwed up the last 20 years. I need you to help me catch up. I got the 50-year-old saying, man, I want to retire in 10 years. Is there anything that I can do? And I got the 60-year-old saying, man, I didn't do anything. What can I do? Right. And it goes on, right? And then there's
Yeah.
people out there who want to talk about taxes. How do I mitigate taxes in a constantly changing environment, right? And then the thing that you boil down to, right? Because there's a lot of TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, right? There's a lot of advice you get out there, right? Ultimately, people want to live worry free when it comes to their money, right? And don't get me wrong, I get a lot of things that come from out there, but my job is to kind of focus in on you. And it's great. You can watch the TikTok videos and stuff like that, but most of it may not pertain to you. That's why each financial plan I put together is pertaining to you and what you want. I can't tell you what your goals are. You have to tell
Wow.
me that, and then I need to say, all right, this is what we need to do to get there. And then the ultimate question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to get there? That's the ultimate question.
Man, that's amazing. So one of the things I love about you, Tremaine, and this is true since high school. So Tremaine and I will go back since 2000s, like he said, the early 2000s. I graduated in '01. Your year was '04?
Oh, oh
'03?
three, oh three.
'03. And Tremaine is in the financial industry space. I am too. We're not enemies. We're partners and allies. What he does is distinctly different from what I do. And Tremaine actually, it might have been one of his older clients. He tried to support me with business.
Right,
And it's important that we do that as a community in the finance industry. We're not competition. We work with each other to find solutions. So
right,
anybody can work with you. It sounds like whether you're a 95-year-old or a 60-year-old who's totally behind the eight ball, a 40-year-old who wants to get ahead, or a 20-year-old who wants to get ahead, or a 50-year-old who wants to catch up. You
Right.
all can get with Tremaine and benefit from his services. But what I wanted to do, Tremaine, because I didn't want to let you go without getting just a few more nuggets for the people from you. I'm just bringing out my best people and sharing them with the world. So I wanted you to give us before you leave, because I know you're extremely productive. Um, three tips, three economic tips that we can apply like instantly, like right now, in order to get on the financial ball and setting things up properly for when we retire and furthermore.
I'm going to give you one because it puts all three together.
Okay,
Okay.
come on.
Don't do it on your own, right?
Mm,
Always seek advice from a professional, right? So I'll give you a good example. If you have a criminal case, what did Abraham Lincoln said? A fool who represents a person who represents himself as a fool for a client. That's true across the board, right? So when it comes
mm,
to taxes, TurboTax is cheap. Yes. Do not do your own taxes because you don't understand the intricacies of taxes, right? When it comes to putting together an estate plan, a will or a trust or anything like that, pay an attorney to do that because that's going to save your estate or yourself thousands of dollars in either taxes or estate costs when the time comes, right? When it comes to an insurance person like yourself, right? Yeah, you can go out there and shop for insurance online, right? But there's no advice. There's no, they're not understanding your needs. Always sit down and talk to an insurance person, whether it's life insurance, property casualty, medical insurance, know the ins and outs, right? When you do that. And when it comes to a financial advisor, the same exact thing. Don't do it on your own, right? You know, right now we're going through a crazy time right now. Everybody's talking about recession, depression, and all this other stuff that's coming, right? Not for nothing, we were prepared for this. If you had a financial advisor, you would have known that, right?
hmm.
Don't the mainstream media is going to paint it as a very very bad picture. Don't get me wrong, inflation, inflation is very 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 real. But
Right.
ultimately, no matter if you're going to learn anything, always seek professional help. Stop doing things for yourself. Whatever your job is, that's what you focus on, right? Do that. Leave everything else to people who are licensed in that field.
Damn. Drop the mic, sir. Drop the mic, sir. Well, listen, I got so many jewels again, and I'm sure anybody who listens to this is going to get tons of value. Where can someone find you, Tremaine, if they want to work with you, if they want to work on their finances, get a better plan together, get their financial fitness together? Where would they find you, Tremaine? How can they work with you?
You can find me on Facebook. Believe it or not, I'm still an old guy. I'm not really on Instagram like that, but Facebook, Tremaine Bembry, Tremaine. Last name Bembry, Bembry. I am the only Tremaine Bembry out there. You can also find me on www.tremainebembry.com. That's my website. My calendar's up there, so you can literally schedule an appointment. And it'll go right into my calendar. And also my work cell phone's up there. So even if you have a question, you can give me a call and we can walk through everything.
All right, all right. Well, again, Tremaine, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to serve my community, and I look forward to serving you any way possible. Anybody you want financial advice, reach out to Tremaine. He's amazing. I could vouch for him personally. Over 2 decades of knowing this man, and he's never changed. Heart of service, humble, and always looking to support other people. So thank you again. If you need help with high-end insurance products, just reach out to myself. God bless. Peace.
Have a good one, brother.
Thank you.